What's up, skate fam? Welcome to Deez Skates. I'm your host, David Loliette. In today's episode, well, it's kind of impromptu. I didn't really plan well for this episode. I've been wanting to show you these interesting skates for quite some time, but I don't know how to present it because it's not a skate that you can buy. It's not a skate you'll be able to go to your local skate shop and have them build. So why am I showing it to you? Well, because there are some unique design features here, and I would like for someone to pick this design up. And the creator of this skate also has expressed that he feels the same way, that he has no plans to go forward with the design himself. He's working on other things. He actually told me when I first started talking to him that he invented the scuff controller. If you don't know what that is, I'll leave a link in the description below. It's essentially a video game controller that has paddles on the back that interact just like the face buttons on the front. The man's name is Simon Burgess. Simon, I hope I pronounced your name right. Now, moving on, Simon contacted me about a year ago, and he asked me if I would be interested in having a pair of street skates, quads, built for the street specifically, and I told him, yeah, sure. So he made these for me, sent them my way. I've had them over a year now. The first thing that I notice about these skates is the wheels, and they're very interesting. We will get to that, but also the toe stop. The toe stop has been shaved 50% of the way down. I know what you're thinking, especially if you're a viewer in Europe, especially in the UK. I can go buy these, or I can have these made. Yes and no. You can have hockey skate quad converts made. You can buy them on the internet. But unfortunately, these skates have some key design variances that yours will not. Let's look at those design variances. First off, I want to read to you what Simon told me about them when I asked him what are the specific differences in these skates. And he says, your skates are quite different from other UK customs. The UK customs are built with a standard plastic heel made in one size, and then the boot gets screwed down flat to the plate. There's no effort made to preserve the form of the sole of the boot or the angle of the forward lean. On my skates, the heel is made to preserve the hockey stance. Then I make the toe blocks to fit the gap under the toes. Now the boot keeps its shape. Now, what's interesting about that is you'll notice that especially on speed skate builds, the mount of a quad skate will most of the time be completely bolted down in the very front. So if the plate has 4 holes in the front, the mount tech will usually mount all 4 of those. Now, if you only mount the back 2, what happens is your boot still has a little bit of curvature to it, right? So where the plate sits here, the boot is not perfectly flat. It will curve upward, which preserves the shape that the skate is made with. What happens when we bolt it down completely flat is the sides of the boot will compress. It will change the shape and therefore the size of the toe box. It'll make the toe box a bit more compact, and then your foot will not necessarily fit correctly in it the way that it did before it was bolted. So what Simon has done here is mounted a plastic piece underneath the boot, between the boot and the plate, and that preserves that upward curvature of the toe so that we don't get a change in the shape of the toe box. Then he goes on to say, also the cuts I make in the boot allow the ankle to flex inside the cuff. This changes the boot to give the ankle the flex you need so your ankle can flex for hockey stops and you don't get friction from the cuff when you need to flex your ankle. I would say that this is true. Whenever I skate, I feel like I get a lot more ankle flex in these than I get in traditional hockey skates that I would take on the ice. And by the way, these were originally ice hockey skates. This was not a boot that was built and sold separately by itself. You can see in the bottom of this skate that there are rivet holes, and that is because Simon actually bought ice hockey skates and removed the blade holder from the bottom of the boot to modify it. Now, when it comes to the mount, these Bauer boots are mounted on roll line variant plates. The roll line variant plates you see here are actually longer than any other plate that I have ever used or would ever put on any pair of skates. Typically for my foot size, the standard mount would take a wheelbase of 165 millimeters for a quad skate. I prefer 160 millimeters or less. My dance skates have a wheelbase of 158 millimeters, which puts the rear wheels a little farther forward and I can get up on my heels real nicely. It's easy for me to crab walk. So I don't have to do any extra work. I typically do not like standard mounts, but because these are street skates, we actually have a longer mount. These roll line plates are 170 millimeters, 5 millimeters larger than the standard mount. What that does is provide quite a bit of extra stability and a little more power in my push. It works great for outside. I really love it. But of course, I'm not doing a lot of dance in these. I'm mainly doing street skating or trail skating in them. Trail skating, I really love to do in them. And for the toe stops are shaved down 50%, which I really love. If you watch any of my roller skating videos, my quad skating videos, you know that I never skate with toe stops. I hate toe stops. I get it. They have their need in the industry and their purpose. If you play roller derby, you pretty much can't get past wearing toe stops. It's a requirement for what you do. But when you dance or do any sort of freestyle skating, you're probably not going to have toe stops. I'm not used to the toe stops being there. I don't like the range of movement that they take up, but I do like the fact that Simon has shaved these toe stops down halfway. I still retain plenty of my range of motion while also getting lots of stopping power. I've honestly been intending to remove the toe stops and try them without them still, because I know I'll still like them better without toe stops. And finally, my absolute favorite part of these skates, the wheels. Oh my God, the wheels are awesome. For reference here, I've never used roll line wheels before. I really have no concept of what they're like when they're in an unaltered form, when they come from the factory. The engineer that designed these tells me that they apparently have too much grip for their own good. So what he's done is shaved off the very top layer of urethane, which tends to have more of a sticky plastic coating on most wheels. And he has machined these canyons or grooves in the center of the wheel, which kind of helps with dealing with road debris, something that quad roller skates are not very good at all. And then on the side here, we have kind of a tapered machine look, which basically means that we get no surface contact whatsoever on about 20% of the wheel, the inner 20% that is. However, we still keep the ability to push the wheel as far out onto the axle as it can go, instead of actually having much thinner wheels like we would if he had actually machined them all the way down, or if we had bought thinner wheels. I mean, even if we did buy thinner wheels, we'd probably still have to position them similarly and put spacers. The wheel design is interesting to me though. I love the way that it rolls. I think it rolls extremely well, much better than any other quad wheel. For outdoors, I typically use Poisons made by Adam, or the Poison Savant, which has a thinner tire and a larger core, as opposed to the regular Poison wheel, which has a thicker tire and a smaller core. Thicker tire, less roll, thinner tire, more roll. Overall, same durometer, same amount of grip, but they just don't handle debris very well. It's easy to trip over rocks, sticks, things like that. Most of the time, compared to skating a 95A wheel in a rink, when you're skating a hybrid or an outdoor wheel outside, it just feels like you're skating in mud. These, I don't feel that way. This is probably the closest thing to skating an actual rink wheel without having to deal with all the debris that I've ever experienced. I would really, really love to see a manufacturer take this design to heart and start doing something with it. I don't know, maybe it's not the best design. Maybe there's something that I'm missing, or maybe Simon is onto something here, and Radar or Adam or any of you other skate brands, if you're watching, start doing this. Start making wheels like this, please. They're fantastic. I've seen other wheels that have the groove in the center. I've never seen outdoor wheels with it. It's always indoor wheels. They're usually hard. I've skated those. I don't see a difference. But with these, they feel absolutely fantastic. All that said, that's all I have today. Like I said, it was really an impromptu video. This was unplanned. I just wanted to bring these to light to show some of you who might be interested in this roller skate, who might know somebody who could build something like this. If you liked this video, you feel like you enjoyed it, you enjoyed learning about these skates that you can't buy, make sure to click the like button. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And also, if you're not subscribed to Deez Skates, scroll down, click that big red subscribe button below the video, and make sure you click the bell so you get notified every time I release fun, exciting skating content. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you the next time I lace up.